Welcome back, everybody. It's your favorite part of your Monday, Generational Sports. Hosting, as always. How we doing, Josh? My good old co-host. I never know how to really say the intro, like hosting, as always. Do I say my name after that part and then go to you, or it's a little confuzzling over here. But Josh, how we doing, boss?
It's been good. I'm a big fan of rainy days. When it's just the sky is just gray and it's just raining all day, and that's how it's been here all day, and that's how I've been in a good mood all day. It's been
Josh,
nice.
that's kind of weird.
Why?
You're kind of a mopey guy, then. That's what it sounds like.
Nah,
You're like
it
Eeyore.
reminds me of football weather because that's what practices were always like. So I'm like, I feel like
Kind of, you're giving me big Eeyore vibes.
big Eeyore vibe
Yeah, bro.
because I
Just
like
saying.
rainy days.
Yeah, mopey, or you could be one of the dwarves.
What if I told you I go outside and I dance and play in the rain and I have fun? Like, is that
I
still
think I,
mopey?
th- I think that's a little weird too, but it wouldn't give me mopey vibes.
Right. Well, I don't do
I-
that, but I'm not mopey either.
All right, if you say so, whatever. To each their own, I guess.
What are your favorite type of weather days? What are you, big snow guy?
I'm not a big snow guy. No, I will accept snow. I'm like perfect day. I'm going sun out, like 75, like a nice 5 mile an hour breeze. You know
Yeah,
what I
those are
mean?
nice days too.
I
Those nice
can't
breezy
like fall.
days.
Fall is prime time weather
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
because I feel like at that point, technically, you can still wear the shorts. You can,
Right.
you could bundle up if you really wanted to.
Hoodie
Just things
weather.
like that.
Hoodie weather is perfect weather. That's the
And
ideal weather.
it's spooky season. You know what they
It
say.
is. It is.
Spooky season. That's when things start happening around here. That's when we get into cuffing season. It's just what a moment. Listen, before we get into the show, everybody, I got to make the PSA as always. We can't see your comments and things on the Twitter side anymore. So if you want to interact, which we love, big fan of interaction, make sure you go over to YouTube Generational Sports. First of all, hit us with a nice little subscribe. We're at 18 right now. I know we got more than 18 people that watch the show. I know for a fact we do. So, with that being said, go hit the subscribe button. Maybe turn on the notification bell if you really feel like it. And then go comment, watch over there, get those viewerships up. We greatly appreciate the conversation back and forth with the people. I hate the fact that we can't see the Twitter stuff anymore, but hey, you can't win every battle, people. You can't win them all. So make sure you go over to the YouTube, check it out, subscribe, everything, comment, all that fun stuff. But with that being said, I guess we'll get into it, Josh. Let's let's go. Let's get right into things, and we're gonna start off not with football, no, because I mean, even though there was a heavyweight fight this Sunday, a few games there were. We're gonna start with the actual heavyweight fight, Fury Wilder 3. We don't do much boxing on this show, but when there's an event like this, it's almost a sin not to do it. So, Josh, did you watch? Did you watch by yourself? Were you with people? What'd you think of it? Give me the whole vibes.
Yeah, I was just hanging out at home watching it. It was. I kind of forgot about it for most of the week and even most of Saturday, and then I just saw Twitter start talking about it before the fight. So I just tuned in right when they were doing their walkouts. I thought Fury's walkout was awesome, but also very weird. He had the little dance going on before, but it was also pretty badass because it was kind of like Spartanish. Kind of gave me 300 vibes. But yeah, the intros were pretty cool. I'm glad Deontay Wilder decided not to wear 45 pounds while he's walking out there very slowly, so he had no excuses. But as for the fight itself, it was a very good fight. I think fight of the year. I think most people can agree on that. And I think the only other fight that I think kind of could was probably fight of the year before that was probably not even a boxing fight. I don't think there's been any boxing fights this year that have been that good. But I think probably just UFC, maybe Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler, just because of how the tides turn so quickly. But definitely fight of the year in this fight. Seeing Tyson Fury he's on a different level. I mean, the dude does not look like he should be 31-0 against some of the biggest people on the planet, but he is. And so, I mean, I was rooting for Deontay Wilder this one. I really was.
Me too.
But I mean, he came out strong with those jabs to the body early on. But then, those last, look at this dog, man. I just can't get him to stop.
Look at this dude.
What is he doing? But yeah, after the fourth round, I mean, those last 6 rounds, Wilder had no legs. He was just dead out there. He wasted all his energy. Obviously got knocked down early in the fight. But, I mean, every time it looked like Fury was going to put him away, he starts swinging back and almost puts Fury away towards the end of the rounds. I mean, it was insane. I don't know how he stayed upright. I just wish he could have finished it and went to decision rather than getting KO'd in the 11th. I mean, that's the toughest way to go. But, yeah, it was a very good fight.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it, definitely. I went out to, got some B-dubs with the boys. Sat down, drank a little bit, had a good time at B-dubs watching the fight, as we usually do during those big events. But it was fun. It really was. I think I've determined that I enjoy being in those type of environments more than just watching it by myself. I feel like it's just more entertaining being in a crowd of people all watching the same thing and the reactions that you get from everything. Obviously, when Wilder got knocked down, I was like, oh, this might be the end. And then Wilder comes back the next round, knocked Fury down twice. So that was crazy. And then, I think the first 4 rounds, it was probably Wilder won in the first round, and then the next 2 went to Fury. And then that 4th round went to Wilder, obviously. And then from then on, it was definitely a Fury fight, to say the least. I would say, but it was a good fight. I mean, I've seen some people say classic and this, that, and third. I don't think I go that far because if you take obviously those first 4 rounds were very good, especially the 3rd and the 4th, like I said. But after that, it was mostly Fury. That's the thing that I took out of it. Wilder's a grown ass man, and we know this. I mean, you just look at him. I'm scared looking at the man. He's an animal. But those last, I would say 6 rounds was all determined. The man had literally no legs. He looked like your drunk uncle at the barbecue, bro.
It was like drunk kung fu. That's what it looked like. He was just out there waving around and somehow connected on some rights and stuff. He has moments later in the rounds, but you're right. It was a Fury show for the rest of that fight.
I mean, look at this dog, bro. Look at this dude.
I'm telling you, dude. It's just when
Josh,
I start talking,
we got those things called cages.
Well, then I would not be able to have my mic on at all because he'd be screaming like a little baby.
You know what, Josh? Look at this. Look at this guy. The man hitting him with the Heisman pose right now.
Yeah, just stiff arm him, man. That's all I can do.
But no, it was a very entertaining fight. I don't know what Fury does next because obviously the next step for him was going to be to fight Joshua, but Joshua lost.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah, he lost. So
yes, Joshua lost. So I don't know if Fury just fights the dude that Joshua lost to for that belt, and then listen, I wouldn't mind a Joshua Wilder fight. I would definitely watch that as well. The only problem with that would be is if Wilder won, what do you do? Have him face Fury for a 4th time? I don't really feel like you can do that. So I don't know what the next steps are. Obviously, we're not the biggest boxing people around, but definitely a fun event. And I always love those big boxing matches. It kind of brings, obviously doesn't bring us back because, we're just youngins. We're youngins, but it takes it back to what everybody used to say was the golden age of boxing with, the big heavyweights going at each other. So definitely a fun fight, but we'll move on from there and we'll go to a little NBA actually, because I'm sure everybody knows the Ben Simmons saga by now, but the man is apparently returning to Philly. Now, let me tell you something. That is what we call a bold strat right there. That's a bold one. He said he's going to sit out. Then he's getting fined. So now he wants to come back because he's not trying to lose money. And this just doesn't – it's not going to end well. And I'll give you a few hints why. First of all, Doc Rivers at the end of last year. I know he tried to walk back his comments now, but I literally don't know how you can take them any other way if you're Ben Simmons. He said he wasn't sure if you could win a championship with Ben Simmons at point guard, and then this year tries to walk it back. Doesn't really make sense to me. Next up, you have Joel Embiid at the press conference literally saying, like, bro, we did everything to make you comfortable, and you're still terrible. That's the reason we got rid of Jimmy Butler, blah, 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 this, down, and third. And then third, a nice little wrestling event, AEW, the entire crowd chanting F Ben Simmons. Not looking too good for you, Ben. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when he comes back. I don't think he's anything very special. I've said this before, but I don't know. Maybe other people think he is. I wouldn't want him within 30 feet of my team. But what do you think happens from here, Josh? You think that he's welcomed back with open arms to the team? You think it gets a little ugly? Because, hey, you know what? Maybe if I'm Ben, I just go back, right? Here we go. Listen, you got to have big brain moments here. If you're Ben, you go back. You start shooting threes like you're Steph Curry. Just like you're Steph. But you brick every single one of them. So then your coach is like, all right, we can't even play you. Like, you're awful. You ride the bench, still getting paid. Nobody can say that you weren't trying. So why not? I think it's a fantastic strategy. You still get your money. And now, you might ruin your trade value just a little bit, clearly. But that's not a Ben Simmons problem. That is a 76ers problem. Now, Ben, obviously, if he does that, is not going to make any all-star team or all-team NBA first or second, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, hey, you're collecting your $40 million bag a year, and you get to ride the bench. That's my dream job. Listen, I've said this forever. 13th guy on an NBA bench or a third-string quarterback, best job in the world. You're never going to do anything unless it's a blowout. And even then, you're probably still not asked to do much. And you're collecting your money. Josh, what do you think happens with this whole Ben Simmons thing?
Well, first, I completely agree with you that being third string and being the last guy on the bench is probably the best job in the world. I mean, these past, 7 years for Udonis Haslem on the Heat are probably just heaven. You just get to be the leader. Also, everybody loves you.
Being Geno Smith until recently.
Well, right now, yeah, until recently.
I said but Russell Wilson hadn't missed a start in 10 years.
That's very true. I mean, yeah, he's like 6 all time in consecutive starts or something. I saw something about that.
He was up there. Or Eli Manning's back up all those years. Didn't even know who he was.
Exactly. But for Ben Simmons, I mean, I guess go back. I think it's just Daryl Morey was not going to take any deal that he didn't think was perfect, and he wanted 4 first-round picks, 4 pick swaps, and a star player. For Ben Simmons, and his value is just not that. 2 years ago, you could probably get that, but after these playoffs, you're not going to get that from Ben Simmons. I guess going back is the smart move, show that you do have value still. Try to maybe mend the relationship in Philly. I think it's going to be a tough year for them. I just don't see it working out as well. I don't think, unless Ben Simmons just decides to start shooting the ball, which I think he can do. He can do it. He just doesn't want to do it. But I'm not with you on the whole I don't want Ben Simmons anywhere near my team.
I'm good. Never been
better. I think he's probably the best on-ball defender you could ask for in the league. He's elite at that. He's a good playmaker. It's just he doesn't like to shoot the ball. That's his biggest problem, and you can't really space the floor with him out there unless he has the ball in his hands. And it's tough doing that, with Philly because, Joel's not going to sit out the three-point line. He's going to be in the paint. Tobias sits at the three-point line sometimes, but there's just too many guys inside the arc for them. I guess it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I don't think it's going to be how it used to be because obviously both sides, Philly has said things about him. He's said things about Philly. It's going to take a while if they do try to fix everything to get it right. So I think it's going to be a long year for Philly fans. I don't think it's going to be a contender year, especially with Brooklyn's got their own problems too. So it's going to be tough to contend with a team like Milwaukee, who's everything's fine over there, and you got disarray in Philly because, who knows? I don't think he's even going to be here long term. I just feel like this is a 1 year, get your value up so we can get something out of you, and then you're gone again. I don't think it's going to be a good year at all for them because it's weird because last week he still said, I won out. He said, I don't care how much money I lose. And now he's like, yeah, I'll be there next week. Like, what changed? I just think he's like, I want to
You know
play.
what changed? He
And
didn't get his check.
yeah, he thought it was going to be like a couple 100,000. But it was like, that's about $3 million, Ben. So think about missing 82 game checks. Like, yeah, it's going to be a weird year for Philly. But it's what it is. I did not see it coming. I thought he'd sit out because, I mean, he's still, even if he missed every game this year, he's still making hundreds of $millions in the future. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm definitely going to watch some games. I'll see if Ben tries to put up 20 a game or something. I don't see that with him, but I hope it does.
I hope Ben in the first game literally just comes out and shoots 23s. I really do. I think it would be fan. I think it would be
just a couple.
So funny. Because then after in the post game, I just want him to say, "Listen, I've been working on my jumper all off season. I've always been told I needed to, and I really thought I had it down this year, but I guess not."
What if he just sabotages the 76ers? Like, just
that's what I said.
The ball, pulled up from half court. That'd be funny.
I said he should just play awful, become a bench player, and then listen. He devalues his trade opportunity, but hey, that's a 76ers problem, not a Ben Simmons problem. As long as they can get somewhat of a trade out of him, watch, he'll average like 3, 2, and 1 on the Sixers. He's gonna get traded somewhere, and all of a sudden he's going like 28, 10, and 11.
Yeah, gonna be that. I just want to see what he's gonna do because I don't know. It's gonna be weird to watch.
And you know what? I'm giving a shout out to the 76ers for the simple fact I've always said, if I have a player that I like, and obviously the Sixers thought he was a star player, they gave him all that money. They don't think he's bad like I do, and they demanded a trade. Yeah, congratulations, you can do that all you want. I ain't trading you.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what they did, and I love it.
Because you can't give in, because then who wants to go play there then? Like, who's gonna want to go to Philly? Like, you guys look weak as hell if you just let a guy force his way out. Like, nobody wants to go to a team like that. That's just ugly.
As you should, 76ers. Stand your ground, damn it.
Yeah.
But we'll move on to the NFL world. Obviously, week 5 is now, well, not now, almost in the books after tonight. And Josh, I'm going to switch up the dock a little bit. Obviously, we usually start with our 2 teams. But I think we would just be doing people a disservice if we did that. Because I'm going to start with the Browns and the Chargers, man. What a game. Oh, yeah. What a game in the late window. I mean, this was – neither team has ever heard of defense, apparently, which is funny because the Browns had a good defense before they came into this game. But the Chargers are a different breed. So you start looking at some numbers here, and, I mean, it's astonishing. Well, first of all, the game ends 47-42. Now let's just go over the stats. Let's see here. We had total yards. The Browns had 531 total yards. The Chargers had 493 total yards. So that is over 1,000 yards of offense in this game. Browns have 301 passing yards. The Chargers have 381. 230 rushing yards to 112. I mean, both teams averaged over 7 yards a play. They both ran 68 plays, so those defenses were dying.
Yeah, they were dead.
Browns had 36 minutes of possession. The Chargers were 23. I mean, it was just an incredible game. The fourth quarter, Josh, if I say the game was 26-15, that's how the game ended. Would you? That's an all right game. Not the best you've ever seen, but it's an all right game. That was the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They played an entire football game in the fourth quarter, pretty much. I mean, the Chargers scored 26 in the fourth. Browns scored 15. The game ends 47-42. The Chargers get the win. And, I mean, it was just an incredible game. And I think both teams really did what they wanted. The Browns ran the ball very well. As I said, they had over, 230 yards rushing, I believe, is what I said. Let me look right here. Yeah, they had exactly 230 yards rushing. Nick Chubb went crazy in this game. He had 21 carries for 161 yards and a touchdown. Kareem Hunt had 12 carries, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. David Njoku all of a sudden is the best tight end in the NFL. 7 catches, 149 yards and a touchdown. And you know what? You know what, Josh? You know what I find kind of funny? You know, the star of this team should be Odell, right? Baker has 305 passing yards. 305. 23 of 32, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. A wonderful game played by Baker. You know, just a week after playing an absolutely terrible game against the Vikings. Odell had 2 catches for 20 yards. 2 catches for 20 yards. Kareem Hunt had 5 for 28. Rashard Higgins 3 for 29. And then Donovan Peoples-Jones 5 for 70.
He's very good.
5 for 70 for him. The Baker Odell thing is not good. It doesn't work. And I am crowning myself smart because I said Baker does not like throwing to Odell. I said that they should just trade him. Just do it already. You're wasting Odell and you're making Baker scared of himself. Baker does not like when Odell's on the field. He feels much more comfortable. You know, listen, this is how I'm going to compare. You ready for this? Perfect. Just thought about it. Jarvis Landry is like your mom, right? You know, when you're sick, you're always like, Mom, I'm sick. Oh, sorry, sweetie. No, I'll go make you some soup. And then, you know, Odell's kind of like your dad after a bad day at work. He's like, listen, get the hell out of the way. I'm trying to be by myself. You know what I mean here?
Yeah,
so Baker's a little. I feel like Baker's a little scared of Odell, but Jarvis not gives him nice warm hugs. So just keep Jarvis, trade Odell, get whatever you can back. Maybe you can still get a higher end pick, maybe a third, maybe a second. I don't think you're in the first territory anymore, but you never know in the NFL these days. Considering Stephon Gilmore got traded for a 6th round pick, well, I'll talk about that. I forgot about that already, but Did that happen before or after our show? After, right? We didn't talk about that.
After. Yeah, we did not talk about that.
So I'm sure you'll get into that. But yeah, trade Odell, and then bam, you're fantastic again. But a great game. Obviously, we'll get a little bit more into it, but I think it is just to mesh 2 points together because obviously those are my overall thoughts, and then the next one would be game of the year. I'm putting it in the top 3 so far, for sure. I think that Ravens-Raiders game, you got to go. Put that number 1 so far. There was another great game that I forgot about. It just happened. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually. But there's definitely been some good games this year. A lot of close games. You know, we talked about kickers last week, Josh. I already know who's going to be in my loser bracket this week. Just saying. But this is definitely the top 3 game of the year. Great game in general. And what'd you think, Josh?
Yeah, on the Odell thing, I will acknowledge that you've been saying this for a long time, since before this season, that he needs to go. So I will give you that, but I disagree. The previous week against the Vikings, Baker missed Odell so many times. I'm a big fan of Baker. He's very good, but he's not been accurate really at all this year. He's had a tough time. And I'm not going to really put that on Odell. He gets a lot of attention from defense. It's because rightfully so. I mean, his first 3 seasons, he had over 1,000 yards, and he was Pro Bowler for all 3. So he deserves all that attention. I still say if he doesn't
make that catch, nobody cares about Odell, but, just saying.
He definitely isn't a star, but he's still a very good player. But, yeah, I disagree with you that he should be traded. I could see it happening because they have a lot of weapons out there with Rashard Higgins and Peoples-Jones stepping up the way that they have these past couple seasons. But I just think it's just finding spots to go to Odell. I think they create plays for him too often that just don't work. Then you can't even try to get him involved later in the game because he's shut down. Like they're just covering him all over the place. I don't like how David Njoku gets 1 catch for like 60 yards.
71 yards.
Yeah, and then his numbers just look insane. But, I mean, he did play good this game. He broke that tackle and scored. But, yeah, this game was insane. That 4th quarter, they just could not stop scoring. Mike Williams gets open for a deep touchdown. David Njoku takes it. Austin Eckler gets a touchdown. Gets a couple touchdowns in that 4th quarter.
The Browns carried Austin Eckler into the end.
They forced it. They were like, "Oh, you want to run the clock out and kick a game winner? Nah, get in here." And I don't know. I don't know how I felt about that. Obviously, they were going to milk the clock. They Browns were out of timeouts, and the Chargers just needed a field goal, and they were inside the 5. So I get carrying them into the end zone, but like you gave him the lead. Like I would have forced it. He just missed an extra point.
Totally
he just missed an
agree
extra
with it.
point. He just missed an extra point. That's the
Yeah, but
reason we're
that
still
field goal
losing.
was quicker than it was closer than an extra point. They were at like the 2 yard.
It does not matter where it's kicked from, bro. These kickers suck this year. He would have maybe missed it. I would have taken my chances with that because his confidence was low. So I don't know. I think it was the right move. I do think it was the right move, obviously. But that last possession by the Browns was such a waste. They wasted like 30 seconds because they got it to Njoku for like 8. Then they checked down, got like 1 yard. Then they checked down again because they had to get the first down. And then there's only like 30 seconds.
I remember the announcer said it. I was watching the game. They went 15 yards in 50 seconds.
Yeah, they just wasted it, and they weren't even at midfield yet. And then they just had to start chucking it and throwing it deep, and Baker was just throwing it over their heads, and it didn't happen. I mean, that's a tough situation. I mean, unless it's Brady or Rodgers or Russ or somebody, those are tough situations for quarterbacks. They're not always going to hit the way that Rodgers can do it in like 37 seconds. Baker needs the 2-minute warning to hit after the first play for him to get a game-winning drive like that done. But yeah, it was a crazy game. The Chargers are just on a whole nother level. I think I'd put this at game of the year. I do think that Raiders game was very good, but I mean just how quickly it all happened in the fourth quarter, I think is what puts it over for me. Just because I mean the defenses were dead and there were just long plays, big plays, back to back to back to back. So I thought for me this is the game of the year so far, but it's a long season, a lot of good games left to happen this year. But why not put it number 1 for me?
Yeah, I mean I'm definitely not complaining if anybody has this as their game of the year so far. Excuse me, but like you said, the Chargers are on another level, it seems like. And you putting them in Super Bowl contenders right now, Josh? Or is it still a little early? You got to see a little bit more? What's going on?
No, I don't think I need to really see anything else. I mean, if Derwin James can stay healthy and that front seven can stay healthy as well, I think that defense is good enough to make a deep playoff run. Obviously, Justin Herbert is amazing, and I'll toot my own horn too. I think I said he was the best quarterback in that draft, and that I would take him number 1. Just saying, but yeah, I think that offense is stacked with Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams is coming into his own too as one of the best receivers. I put him on the respect train a couple of weeks ago because he's that good. He makes plays. So I do think they can be Super Bowl contenders because the Chiefs, we obviously see, have taken a step back. The Bills are the clear front runner in the AFC. After that, I mean, it's the Browns, and they just show that they can beat a team like the Browns. And they got the Chargers. I mean, they got the Ravens this upcoming week. So this will be another test for them, but I think they're good enough. I really like their coaching staff too.
Yeah, their coaching staff did a really good job turning everything around because I think somebody said it after this game that this was a game that they would normally lose, or at least in the past few years they've found a way to lose at the end of games, and they're finally winning them. And I put a lot of that on Justin Herbert, man. I mean, I don't think I put him number 1 in the MVP race right now. I would still probably put Kyler. And honestly, listen, you say whatever you want. I'd put Brady at number 2 right now.
There's so many guys in this MVP race.
After last night, you got to put Josh Allen up there again.
Yeah. Derek Carr before this week was right up there with all them too.
I'm sure Rodgers is going to have his way this year.
Lamar.
Mid.
Well, that's just you. That's just you.
I knew that would get a reaction out of somebody. But I mean, you just look at Herbert's stats this year. He's completing 67% of his passes. He has 1,576 yards already, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a QB rating of 104.7. So, I mean, the kid is unbelievable. And to think that this is his second season should really excite Chargers fans. It's funny. One of the kids I went to high school with, Frankie, if you ever watched this, shout out. Big Chargers guy. He slid up because I was, always posting the podcast on my IG story. Just saying. slid up. He was like, "Yo, I need some more Chargers love," and I said, "Don't worry, bro, I got you." Because this is a very good team. I think I picked them to make the playoffs coming into the season, I believe, and if I didn't, then I did on one of my other shows. So, Josh, let me tell you something. It is very difficult to remember what I say from this show and then on the hard count. Like I know for an absolute fact I pick games differently from this show and onto the hard count because like I'll think about it, I'm like, yeah, they're definitely gonna win. And then I think about it more, I'm like, damn, I definitely did not say that on Gen Z, did I? But things happen. I'm just covering all my bases, Josh. I can be wrong here and then right on the hard count, and then look, bam,
Right.
smartest kid you know. Just
Can't lose.
But I think Herbert for me is number 3 in the MVP race right now. Like I said, I still put Kyler 1. I would put Brady 2, and then Herbert. But they're very good. Like you said, Mike Williams. I didn't even know. I forgot that you put him on the respect train because if you didn't say that, I was going to say that. I'm putting him on it this week. Obviously, we'll get into that later in the show. But he's unbelievable. I mean, he's been fantastic this year so far. I don't know how teams are just suddenly leaving him wide open because I think both of his touchdowns, he was wide open.
Yeah,
like
wide open.
With nobody within like 20 yards of him. So that's a bold strategy, defenses. I mean, I don't know how I would feel about it, but hey, do you? But yeah, they're just a very good team. I think they're well rounded. Obviously, you have 2 wide receivers. You have a veteran tight end in Jared Cook. Austin Eckler is playing unbelievable.
He's still so fast too. Jared Cook. Like when he caught pass on the sideline,
I feel like he always makes the big play of the game. Like when they were driving down. Yes,
when they were driving down
on the team, and then all of a sudden there's 4 seconds left in the game. Yeah, there's 4 seconds left in the game, and he makes a toe tap at the 1 yard line, and you're like, wait, Jared Cook played today?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's amazing. He really is. And I mean, when you have a quarterback in the top 3, you have 2 great wide receivers, you have a good running back. You need your defense to be mediocre, and they've played a lot better than that too. They did power rankings for rookies this year. The Chargers had 2 of them with Asante Samuel Jr. And Rashawn Slater because he's been unbelievable as well.
Insane.
What's going on there, Matt? Nice to have you as always. But yeah, the Chargers are just very good. Very, very good. They got Chris Harris Jr. still. Like you said, Derwin James can stay healthy. Joey Bosa, we all know that man is a problem. Yo, big nose, by the way. Big old.
Huge nose.
Like smell out a missing person nose.
Yeah.
just saying. Matt, we're doing fantastic. Hope everything is good with you. But yeah, I guess you have to put them in the Super Bowl contendership rating, I guess you could say, because if your team is that good, and obviously they've proven it so far, I don't know how you can say that they aren't. But unless you got anything else, Josh, I'll move on over to the Sunday night game, which, oh boy, Chiefs. Oh, look, come on. Don't worry, Matt. We're gonna get there. We're gonna go right to that game after we talk about Sunday night football. You haven't missed Panthers talk yet, but we'll go into the Sunday night game. 38-20, the Bills beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead again. In Arrowhead, the place that they should be unbeatable. Josh Allen. I can't wait for the winners and losers section of the show. Just saying. But 15 completions. Josh, you know how many passing yards he had? I don't know if you actually know off the top of your head.
I saw it earlier, 302, something like that.
Oh, you're shorter than him. How dare you? 315 on 15 completions. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Also, casually ran the ball 11 times for 59 yards and a touchdown over there. Dawson Knox suddenly becoming his favorite target. 3 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown. Hey, Josh, let's pat both of ourselves on the back real quick. Just casually. Because you know who else played well? Emmanuel Sanders. 3 catches,
So
54 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Me and Josh both said very underrated signing that nobody paid attention to. We did. We certainly did. And then, of course, you have Stephon Diggs, 2 for 69 yards. But the Bills went in there, and at no point in this game, the announcers tried to make it seem a little bit closer, just because you obviously got to keep your audience's attention. I think when they were down 11 and the Chiefs had the ball, he was like, "Oh, if they score right here, you never feel comfortable with the Chiefs." Blah 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 blah. Yeah, well, guess what? First of all, they didn't score, and second of all, I felt very comfortable because I know that the Chiefs defense isn't getting any stops. So a 38-20 victory, and then you just go over to Mahomes as well. 33 out of 54. So you're throwing the ball over 50 times, and usually with Mahomes you feel pretty comfortable doing that. But 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, only 272 yards. He was the leading rusher on their team as well, 8 for 61. Darrell Williams came in after Edwards-Helaire went down, 5 for 27. But even Clyde, when he was in the game, only had 7 carries, 13 yards. And then, you go down to the receiving. McCole Hardman was their big play guy. 9 catches, 76 yards. Tyreek was 7 for 63. Kelsey was 6 for 57. And look, we even had our Josh Gordon sighting, 1 for 11 yards. Teams might be starting to figure it out. They might be starting to figure the Chiefs out just a little bit. And I think it all started with Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. The way that Tampa covered that Chiefs offense, everybody looked at it and was like, oh, so it is possible, huh? And obviously that had a lot to do with, having basically 0 linemen for the Chiefs. But they still did a great job in coverage. And, Tyreek Hill, the ball goes off his hands. That's an interception. There were some definite drops in that game. Hardman dropped a first down. But Kelsey seemed like he wasn't even in the game at certain times. And you know what, Matt? This might be true. The Bucks broke the Chiefs. It just seems to happen. It just
I think the
seems to
Chiefs
happen.
broke the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs broke themselves.
That's definitely possible. That's possible. And Josh, one of the questions in here, I think it's very simple. I think the Bills are the best team in the AFC, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's close. I don't think it's very close at all. Now, don't get me wrong. We just talked about the Chargers at length, and I think they're very good, but I would still take the Bills by at least.
They're like the Bills last year. Chargers like the Bills last year.
Yeah.
It just feels like they aren't there
yet.
Yeah.
But I think that the Bills are the new team to beat. I think that the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Buffalo, and shout out Buffalo. You guys deserve this. The Bills were bad for a very long time. The Bills Mafia stuck around, and you're finally getting your dividends from it. You got a great quarterback in Josh Allen. Diggs might have changed the whole franchise around. Josh Allen, obviously playing great is a very important thing, but Diggs coming in last year and just being that go-to guy for Allen might have changed the entire fortunes of that whole team. But what do you think of the game, Josh? You think that the Bills are the new number 1? What's going on with you?
Yeah, this was obviously, I think the weather robbed us of what could have been an amazing game. I'm not going to sit here and say that the Chiefs lost because of the weather, but it definitely played a factor in them not being able to have that normal, amazing comeback that we always see from teams like that. But yeah, I just want to bring up this comment because I watched a compilation today of Tyrann Mathieu throwing his hands up because Daniel Sorensen just all he knows how to do is blow coverages and let guys be wide open. And Dawson Knox, insane game from him. I did not see it coming, but I did. I had to make a tough decision this week. It was Dallas Goedert or it was Dawson Knox. And I was really fighting over it because obviously I took Dallas Goedert before I took Dawson Knox. But I was like, you know what? Let me put Dawson Knox in the lineup and see how he does. And it paid off. He had a big week for me.
Josh, do you know who has the most receiving touchdowns for a tight end
this year?
Oh yeah.
Is it Dawson Knox?
No, it's Dawson Knox.
I did not expect
It's
that. I
actually tied with Gronk for the most.
That's why I thought it would have been.
It's most touchdowns by a tight end. Him and Gronk. You know, everybody's picks at the beginning of the year to lead the tight end category, of course.
Yeah, but I do think the Bills are the new favorite. I didn't think it would happen, just because the Chiefs' defense hasn't been that good in the Mahomes era so far. But they are just so bad now that you can't just be like, well, their offense makes up for it, because they can't. Like, they literally can't, because that the other team, if they're good enough, if they're a Bills, if they're a Bucks, if they're a Chargers, they're going to score probably, 80% of the time when they have the ball. Like, they're not going to have that many 3-and-outs or failed drives. They're going to score all the time because that defense is just so bad. And when Matt said the Bucks broke the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs broke the Chiefs because they paid all the offensive guys and then left no money to bring in good free agents for the defense. People. I mean, that secondary is just it's so bad. There's nothing they can do about it. Tyron's good. He does his assignment. Well, no, he actually blew his assignment last night when Emmanuel Sanders scored that put it away touchdown. But I mean, I used to be a big fan of Daniel Sorensen before the Mahomes era. He made some big time plays, but now he just sucks. And the rest of that defense is just it's bad. So I think them being the favorite, it's tough to still have them there when they've lost these games that they should be winning, because we've seen them do it before, but they've taken a step back since the past 2 years, and the Bills just keep getting better. I mean, Sean McDermott's an amazing coach for them. Josh Allen obviously gets better and better. Yeah, it was good to see Josh Gordon back. For how long, we'll see, but it was good to see him back. But, this Bills team is just too good to not be the favorite. They had that little bad start to the season against the Steelers, but since then 2 shutouts and you beat the Chiefs.
Here's why. How did that even happen?
I don't know. Josh Allen didn't play good that game. He just didn't play good.
You look at both of those teams now, and it's like, is this even the same season?
Yeah, I know. It seems like, because I thought last night after the game, I was like, dang, the Bills are really undefeated with the Cardinals. Like, wait, no, they lost to the Steelers to open the season. Yeah, which is just crazy to think. But, I mean, Josh Allen has played amazing ever since. That defense has played a lot better since, too. I just don't think there's any way. 2 shutouts. I mean, granted, one was against the Texans, but as we can see now after this week, the Texans might be actually kind of decent. But,
disgusting.
But, I mean, 2 shutouts and beating the Chiefs after having a bad start to the season is how you want to bounce back. So I think you just have to have them as the favorite in the AFC right now.
Yeah, and then, I think coming into this year, it was kind of going to solidify the Chiefs as a dynasty. If they could go back to the Super Bowl and win, obviously it would have been their 3rd consecutive. They lost last year, but it's very hard to go back-to-back. The last team to do that was the Patriots, and I think 03 and 04. So it's very difficult. But, Josh, if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, and honestly, with this team, I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. Is it still considered a dynasty to you?
I feel like in football, it's a lot tougher to have a dynasty than any other sport. Obviously, in basketball, you get 2 All-NBA players on a 4-year deal. You're probably going to have a dynasty. But in the NFL, you can't do that, because you can have. I mean, the Chiefs have that. They have Mahomes, they have Kelsey, they have Tyreek Hill on long-term deals. But that doesn't mean they're a dynasty, because that defense is awful. So I think they still have a chance at it. I think people going crazy right now saying, like, oh, you guys thought the Chiefs were a dynasty. It's like, well, Mahomes won MVP his first year, and they were 1 game away from the Super Bowl. And now they've gone 1 for 2 in the Super Bowls they've been in. So I think to say that they're not already just because they've had a rough start to the season is kind of unfair. I think if they can, turn it around and make a deep playoff run, I think it's still alive. But I don't think it's going to turn into a dynasty just because they put away all their money. Like, they don't have money to bring anyone in. I don't know about 3. I mean, in NBA, yeah, but winning 3 Super Bowls in a span. I mean, only the Patriots and the Cowboys have done that, and the old-time Steelers. Like, there's very few teams. Granted, a dynasty is. I feel like people take that term too lightly. But
dynasty is the most overused word in sports. Was next to superstar.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it's still possible. I mean, if they somehow, they don't have a good year this year, they somehow add to that defense, and if they win back to back, then can you not call them a dynasty? If they go, 3 rings in 5 years, I don't think it will happen, but if it does happen, then you kind of got to give it to them.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard question because we're still in the middle of it. I think if you could look 10 years ahead and we look back and the Chiefs, won that Super Bowl, lost one, and then the next 2 years didn't make it, and then they won another one, then it becomes a kind of a simpler thing for me, and I would say that's not one. But we're still in the middle of it right now. Like you said, I think the Chiefs are still good. I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs. That would be crazy. Are they still? But here's the other thing. I'm not sure right now. Are they still last in their division?
Because they're 2-3 now.
They're 2-3. The Broncos are 3-2. The Raiders are 3-2. Yeah, and the
they're still last.
1. So
they're last.
They might be the best bottom feeders of all time. But it's difficult. Matt agrees with you that a dynasty, win 3 in 5 years, that's a dynasty. And I would agree with that too. But like I said, we're still in the middle of it. So it's hard to determine it right now. But I think missing the Super Bowl this year doesn't just automatically disqualify them. Listen, I hate the Chiefs as much as most people do, being a Patriot fan. I don't know why. I don't know why I hate the Chiefs. I probably shouldn't. It's not like they're a direct rival of us, but they annoy me now. I think it's Mahomes' little froggy voice, and Travis Kelce kind of annoys me too sometimes. Other times I like him. But
you like Andy Reid, right? You like
of course. How do you not like Andy Reid? You gotta like Andy Reid. It's like everybody's grandfather, it feels like. Like he's the grandfather on one side of your family, and then Bill's the grumpy one on the other side of the family.
Yeah.
You go to Andy Reid for Christmas, and then you finish out Christmas with Bill because you're not getting the present anymore.
You gotta visit.
What I mean?
You just gotta visit.
That's like the one that's like down the street, but you're like, Mom, do I have to go? It's like, yes, come on.
He doesn't want to see you. You don't
want to see him. Yeah.
Right.
It's one of those situations. But I don't know. It's going to be difficult. Sorry, I heard the sneezes in the background.
I thought he was going to keep going, but it was only 2 this
time. But it's difficult. It really is difficult to determine if it is a dynasty right now because, like you said, we're in the middle of it. So it's not a cut and dry answer right now. You have to see if it extends out. Because missing the Super Bowl should not just automatically disqualify you. Because I feel like it's definitely harder to win Super Bowls than it is to win things in other sports. Because every other sport is a series.
Right, yeah.
Like, this is a one and done. Baseball is a series unless you're in the wild card game. Basketball, we obviously know, is a series. The NHL is a series. And, bringing up baseball. How about those Braves? 1 win away from the NLCS. Yes,
Pablo Sandoval.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what team he's on. I don't know.
He's on the Braves.
He is on the Braves?
He is.
It's unbelievable.
I know something you don't.
Look at this.
Who would have thought?
Andy Reid is a living legend, of course. I still can't believe he's the only coach to win 100 games with 2 teams. That does not.
That's crazy.
But then again, you think about football, and
most coaches stay in one spot.
It's not even that. We talked about this last week again, but I'm going to bring it up if I don't die first. Football seasons are so short.
Yeah.
Like, you look at it, and it's like Bill Belichick only having like 300-something wins. How?
He's been there for like 35 years. Long.
Aaron Boone, the Yankee manager, has been there for 4 years. 4 years. Has like 350 wins.
Yeah, that's it.
It's unbelievable. Josh with the rare baseball W.
Hey.
Hey, you know what? Broken clock right twice a day. We're just saying.
Get in there once in a while. Baseball guy here.
Big baseball guy, he says.
Oh, yeah.
But we will see how the Chiefs dynasty goes from here. But let's get to our teams, Josh. One was, I think both games are rough. One won, one didn't. We'll start with yours. We'll start with the Panthers. They fall 21-18. Josh, I'm just going to let you have the floor.
Yeah, a lot of people come at Lamar because they call him just a running back. I think we should start doing the same thing with Sam Darnold now. He can't throw the ball. All he does is run the ball. That's all he does. No, I mean I'm joking. He's played really good 4 out of the 5 games. This is the one game he looked like the old Jets Sam Darnold. He made some really bad decisions. He made some good decisions at times. He was very, very smart at getting out of the pocket because our offensive line is awful. But yeah, it was a tough game to watch. We played a really good first half. We were up 15-13 at half. Chuba Hubbard was playing really good. We're getting Robbie Anderson involved a little bit more. But then, the second half we just kind of stalled. We couldn't move the ball at all. Our defense was keeping it up. I mean, Hassan Reddick had back-to-back sacks. We forced a fumble late third quarter. Our defense was doing what they had to do. But the offense just couldn't put more points on the board, and the Eagles fought their way back. It was tough to watch. It's kind of happened the past 2 weeks. We played really good first half against Dallas, and then we played the worst third quarter of all time, and then we did the same thing this week. So it was tough to watch, but I agree. I don't know if you saw what Robbie Anderson was yelling about. He was getting mad because the Eagles DBs were just sitting on all the routes, just sitting on all the slants, all the curls, and Robbie kept saying, we need to do some double moves, and they never did it, and that's why the offense did move the ball. So I agree with him on that part. But look, I said after we were 3-0, I'm not going to get excited. Okay, I don't think this team is that good. I think we've played good football so far to start the season, but our defense has taken some injuries. No Shaq Thompson this week, no J.C. Horn. It was a tough week, but I still think we're a solid football team. I mean, I don't think we're going to be a playoff team. I just don't think we are. I think these past 2 games have shown that when we get against teams that just want it more than we do. Like, we give up after the first half. That's what we've done. Also, we did against the Jets week 1. Zach Wilson almost came back and beat us. Like, we just don't play the second half. It's been tough to watch. But I don't know. We'll see. But the one thing you brought it up earlier, Stephon Gilmore, now a Carolina Panther. Yeah, thank you for the free 6th-round pick. Will compensate you guys. Congrats. There you go. Take the 6th.
That draft pick.
But yeah, our DBs are looking really, really good now. I've been thinking a lot about it because we obviously we drafted J.C. Horn, traded for C.J. Henderson, now traded for Stephon Gilmore. Dante Jackson is playing like an all-pro cornerback this year. He's playing amazing, and it's his contract year. I just don't know exactly what we're going to do. Are we going to have 4 cornerbacks? Are we going to sign Gilmore and Dante Jackson this year and have J.C. Horn and C.J. Henderson? There's just so much going on in that secondary. I'm not complaining because last year we were dealing with 2 6th-rounders as our starters for most of the year. So I'm very happy with where we're at, but it'll be interesting to see how that happens. Our front office is putting us in a position that's really good. It's just, is Sam Darnold the quarterback we saw for the first 4 weeks? I don't like what I saw this week. I hope it doesn't continue, but I like him running the ball. I like
that. Yeah, I don't know where to go with this team, obviously, because I think the defense is good. The offense is just up in the air. I want to see what happens when CMC comes back, obviously. What do you think? He'll be back next week, I'd assume, because I think he was
practicing a lot this week,
yeah.
So he should be back.
It looked like he was questionable this week. Damn, they're going over the injuries right now for football. Trey Lance, sprained left knee, could miss time. Dislocated shoulder for Juju, 4 months.
Yeah.
Saquon sprained his ankle.
Did you see the picture of his ankle?
Bro, disgusting. Looked like a baseball.
Yeah, that was disgusting.
Clyde hyperextended his knee, out for a few weeks. I mean, Jesus.
Hate injuries, man. Injuries
Daniel
suck.
Jones almost died.
Yeah, he was almost gone.
We got one. No. Josh, listen. We got one New York quarterback in the prayer circle. I know where I'm going this week. Let me tell you something. That man was stumbling like he just got out of the bar after a long night.
But props to him. He did not want to come out. He's like, nah, let me play, coach. I got it.
Because he probably thought he was already on the sideline.
He probably thought it was a different game. He was like, oh, here we go. Next Sunday.
He probably thought he was playing Madden. He was like, damn, this shit got realistic. But I want to see what happens with the Panthers going forward. I keep almost saying the Jets because I'm so used to Sam Darnold. Obviously,
Don't do that. We are not the Jets.
no,
The
nobody,
Jets, okay?
nobody is the Jets. As I just saw a "Come On Man" segment where Zach Wilson threw the ball and hit his lineman in the back of the head.
See the running back was pissed at that line.
Yeah, he was like,
he was
"Man,
already
get out of the
beat
way!"
him. Yeah.
Listen, Jimmy, don't you say that. I didn't know Brady was a little banged up too. Don't listen. We don't want
Brady
that
can
bad
never
juju
be
over
hurt.
here.
He's only like 23 years old. He's
Not facts.
He
He's
can-
a young man body.
Oh, yeah.
Young man. Where was I? Oh, but I want to see what happens when CMC comes back. Obviously, you guys have Gilmore now, like you said. You got JC. You got Anderson. Henderson.
CJ Henderson.
See, I always mess that up with CJ Anderson, the running back.
He's good for a couple years.
See, when you guys said that, when I heard that they traded for him, I literally thought it was a running back. I didn't even know that there was a corner with that name. I was so confused.
He was a top 10 pick in 2020.
I was so confused when that happened.
He's stuck in Jacksonville, though. But he sucks for us so far. He's played very bad. Very, very bad.
Probably not serious, but was favoring his hand at the end of the game. Listen, probably just messed up the manicure.
Yeah.
You know the vibes.
I mean,
Brady got
he was probably a little bit confused. He's like, I thought I wanted 6 touchdowns today. 6.
Yeah, he was like,
that was
I don't only have 5, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But we'll see where your Panthers go, Josh. I think you guys are gonna be all right.
I'm not
Maybe
getting
wild
excited.
card. 9-8. 9-8.
No. I'd rather get a top pick, man. Let's go get a top pick. Let's get a left tackle or something. Because the guy we just paid, Taylor Moton, sucked at left tackle yesterday. He was okay at right tackle, but we need someone for the blind side because some danger Darnold.
Listen, I honestly think they should just let fans be the GM of one team.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think there should be one team that is controlled solely by fans. We hire the coach, the offensive coordinator, everything, and we do it via polls.
Add 2 expansion teams. So make it like an East Coast fan team, a West Coast fan team, and then they have their own championship. Yeah, they play each other. It's a 7-game series. Just make it a 7-game.
And again, I also think that is literally what the fan-controlled football league is.
Yeah, I think but you gotta buy it. I don't want to pay for it. Just let me.
Do you have to buy it?
Yeah, I think you bid on it. Bid.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. I'll do it for
I need the NFL to put everything up front. Like, listen, you guys got billions of dollars. I don't need you paying nothing.
Yeah, come on now.
Hey, wasn't saying Carolina is just because of gameplay, just personnel wise.
I mean, it's only Darnold and Robbie, but I mean that was the Jets for about 40 years. So you're right.
Well, you guys also don't know what a tight end is. That's also like the Jets.
No, don't disrespect Tommy Tremble. Tommy Tremble is going to be a star.
Let's be real here.
He got a touchdown this week. He's going to be very good. It's going to be very good. Greg Olsen said he really liked him. So if Greg Olsen,
I'm sure Greg does. Greg,
shout out to Greg too because he had to keep correcting himself because he was on the broadcast for the game. He kept saying "we," and he was like, "I mean the Panthers." I was like, "I love that."
I like the former players up in the booth. It gives it a nice little thing.
Yeah.
But we'll go to my boys now. And let me tell you something. It was this close, Josh. It almost happened.
Yeah.
I was almost not going to be able to say my boys anymore because this was the most disgusting game I've ever watched in my entire life.
It was very good.
Made me sick. It was like, what was the score at halftime? I don't even remember. What is that? 15-9? Is that possible at halftime?
3 field goals.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Listen, because they scored 6. The Texans scored 6 in the first, 9 in the second. So that's 15.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Patriots scored 9 in the second. Whatever. It was like 24 something or 20 something. I don't 22.
24-22. 24-22. Are you talking about towards the end of the game or because you won 25-24, right? Or something like
25-22.
Oh, so then I don't.
It was when the Texans were up pretty big in the third quarter. I think they got the ball first, so it was 15-9. So yeah, it was 22-9 at one point, I believe. and I thought it was. I thought
Math
it was
checks
over.
out. Math checks
Yeah,
out.
listen, I'm not a listen. I am a production major. We don't do math. I've never been good at math. I took the easiest math possible at college so I could graduate. Just saying. Um, but yeah, this is just interesting. I mean, we got J.C. Jackson, who's supposed to be our next Gilmore, getting mossed. Uh, we got the Patriots. You know, Davis Mills, 21 of 29, 312 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
He was going crazy.
No interceptions. We got Chris Moore, 5 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown. Chris Conley, 3 for 84. Like, what is going? Am I in the Twilight Zone? What is happening? And you got Mark Ingram out here, still looking somewhat decent. Philip Lindsay had like a couple good carries. Like this was just not good. It was not a fun time.
David Johnson was lining out wide, beating your corners, Connie. David Johnson.
I don't even know who the Patriots are. Never heard of them. Actually, I heard that's a term to describe Americans, Patriots. You know, but it was ugly. It really was. I thought I was gonna have to give up on my boys, but they bounced back. They got the win. Mac led us back, baby. Mac attack. 23 of 30, 231, a touchdown, an interception. Hunter Henry finally figured out that he was on the Patriots. 6 catches for 75 yards, a touchdown. Jacoby Myers dropped probably one of the easiest passes I've ever seen in my entire life, by the way. But still was 4 for 56. And then you got Damian Harris, 14 for 58, a touchdown. Brandon Bolden, 2 for 25. But listen, Damian, you might want to hold on to the ball. I heard
that was a very close one too. I thought he got across when I first saw it.
I thought he got across too. But apparently not. Obviously, the refs were paid off, clearly.
Yeah, because Patriots need to pay him off to beat the Texans.
After this game, it looked like it. So it was just a mess. But hey, a win is a win, even if it's ugly. And hey, I will say, I know Mac might not, have the brightest future and things like that. He doesn't look that bad. I would like the playbook to be opened up more for him. But 23 30, the accuracy is definitely there. What'd you say?
Just the playbook's the issue, I guess. I mean, if that's where you want to go with it.
What do you think the issue is there, Guy?
He sucks. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback.
Very accurate.
Yeah, very accurate inside 6 yards. Very accurate in checkdowns. Very accurate in checkdowns and, flat routes. He's very good at that. I'll give him that. Very, very good.
Josh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I know you don't like accurate quarterbacks. I forgot.
I love him. Sam Darnold's on fire this year, man. It's really nice to see.
You just said that he was a running back. Stop capping.
He can throw the ball sometimes, too.
Listen, I know that you got a Cam jersey there, so you're not used to quarterbacks.
Listen, let's wait till I get to our winners and losers, because I think Cam is a winner. I think he's a winner.
Yeah, maybe at styling something, but whatever. Oh, we'll move on. What'd you say?
He won MVP. 15 games out of 16.
Shouldn't even have won it, by the way. Still on that. We'll go down to our Week 5 topics. And Josh, you put an interesting one here. Should every team just go for it on 4th and 2? And you know what? I'm not against it. I would love that. I really would.
I think at this point,
teams got to be more aggressive, man.
What do you do at this point? Like, you go for 2 or you go for it on 4th down. I mean, is it really you put your kicker out there for 40 yards and he shanks it and then you just wasted a chance to score a touchdown? It's a tough point. Like, it's tough to do. I don't know what's happening. Kickers are just all over the place this year. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, you had the Texans kicker missing extra points. We obviously all know that Mason Crossbar and whoever the Bengals kicker is couldn't hit anything.
And he hit a game winner earlier this year. McPherson. That's his last
who else was terrible?
Chargers kicker makes an extra point.
Chargers kicker I think he missed 2.
Yeah. Who else was bad?
It was
Tough
not
week
good.
for
Listen,
kickers.
listen. If Justin Tucker misses one tonight, that's how you know this week just wasn't meant for kickers. Because Justin Tucker doesn't miss anything.
No.
So maybe there was just some bad juju put in the air, and kickers, just weren't supposed to be successful this week. Maybe they'll bounce back next week. Hey, a couple 50-yarders, and everybody will forget. Just saying. But hey, going for it on 4th and down or 4th and 2 all the time? Or wait, you have it going 4th down and going for 2.
I was just letting you go with it. 4th and 2.
Don't correct me or anything.
I'm gonna make you look dumb. You can read. I don't want to say you can't. You can read.
Well, listen, I know you can read too, and you thought the Rams were playing twice in a week.
They did. They played 2 halves of football.
I just simply don't think that this is true.
It is true. They lost to Dallas and they lost to Arizona.
I mean, what a week. They had 2 byes this week.
Yeah, they were off. They were off.
Oh, okay. I've just never seen the NFL do that, so I was just a little confused.
Me neither.
Now, Josh? Have you heard? You would like this then of the coach in college. He was a high school coach. Now he's in college. It's some like low level team that nobody's ever heard of. That only goes for 2. Doesn't punt.
Yeah.
Always onside kicks.
They beat a team by like 70 this year. Their quarterback threw 10 touchdowns. Yeah, he's a guy. I love it. I think it's awesome.
No, I think the only one I don't agree with is the onside kicks. You lost me there, boss.
Yeah. That's
that, and maybe never punting, bro.
Yeah, like 4th and 18 inside your own 20. Like you gotta throw that. You gotta get it out there.
I think they lost like 70-0 to an FCS team, and he finally did punt. He punted 1 time in the game.
I bet the coaches were in his ear. Like, we got to, coach. Like,
we're on the 1-yard line, coach.
You're just giving them points. It's like, all right, fine. We don't have a punter, but put someone back there.
Hire my mans. Why not? And then we'll go on to Trey Lance and his debut. What did you think of it?
Yeah, he had a rough day. J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones were in his face all day. I don't think they really even tried to establish a run game. And if they did, it was with Trey Lance because he had 16 carries. But he was really good at getting out of the pocket. He was making smart decisions outside of the pocket. It was honestly, I watched this game. It was very boring. It was a defensive battle, basically. Kyler couldn't really get anything going offensively. But, yeah, he looked decent. I liked what I saw out of him. I don't think they were trying to do too much with him this week just because they saw the pressure that they were getting. They did a lot of screens to Deebo Samuel, which I think is a very smart decision. Deebo knows how to create an open space or get him the ball. But, yeah, he played pretty good from what I saw. I just need to see them get a running game going. But obviously, with Mostert being hurt, it's kind of tough to get that going. I think they have that rookie back there, 2 rookies, Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon. So, I mean, they've both been decent this year. But, I mean, Trent Williams I think he's the highest graded tackle in the league right now. But the rest of that offensive line is dog water. So, it's been tough for the quarterbacks for them. But I don't know. I like what I saw from him. He looked good.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I honestly did not watch this game. I was watching the Browns and Chargers, and
gotta watch Red Zone, man. You gotta watch Red Zone.
I'm not doesn't do it for me.
You can. So you only watch on one screen?
Yeah, but I got 4 different games on.
Oh, because you got
I got that Sunday
game
ticket,
pass.
baby.
You got that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah.
I got, shout out New Paltz College, $100, baby, for the whole year. Why not? You know what I mean?
Hey, that's a steal.
So I had to, join in on that, but I had the Cardinal game tucked away in the bottom right corner. But I had the Chargers game front and center. And like I said, I'll take your word for it because looking at the stats here, I would think he did awful. 15 to 29, only had 192 yards and interception. He did rush the ball 16 times for 89 yards, like you said. And I think that's the important part of it all. Realistically, you don't want him rushing the ball 16 times, obviously. But that's something that he brings to the table that Jimmy obviously doesn't. And I'm curious what happens now because apparently
if you had to guess,
he's hurt now.
Actually, I saw this stat earlier. If you had to guess John Lynch has been the GM and Kyle Shanahan has been the head coach for 5 years. What would you guess their record over that time is? They played about 69 games. That's how many games they played together.
69 games. I know they were terrible the year they got Nick Bosa. They've been hurt. They're hurt every year. So you said they played 69 games?
Mm-hmm.
I would say they probably have 40 wins.
31-38, and they don't have a first-round pick in the next 2 years. Most organizations, you're gone. Both of you are gone.
Now that's tough.
That's just crazy because I didn't think I would have guessed 40-something wins. I would have for sure thought they were over 500 with how these past few seasons have been, but 31-38.
It's so weird. That's why I have such a hard time in the NFL and other sports determining how bad a coach and GM is when players get hurt or players just don't play well.
Because Kyle Shanahan's a great coach and John Lynch has been a good GM. It's just they suck still somehow. They had that Super Bowl run, but outside of that, they've been bad.
Yeah, I mean, hey, 6 to 8 weeks. Russ is out too. The Athletic said that. Never miss a start in 10 years.
He's still the MVP.
10 years.
Okay.
I still want an MVP vote. You're damn right.
Yes.
What was I going to say? Oh, but here's the thing. I guess first round picks just aren't a thing in the NFC West though.
No, they're really not.
Because the Rams don't have one for the next 2 years. The Seahawks don't have one this year because of the Jamal Adams trade, which by the way, what
huge win for the Jets right now. Huge win
for
the
Jets. That is such a terrible trade. Did you see Jamal Adams on that touchdown?
His nickname is awful too. It's awful.
What's boy?
Yeah, it's just stupid name.
I know, what a stupid name. Who would ever think of something like that? Not us. But did you see him on that touchdown that they gave up to who they play this Thursday? Oh, the Rams. I don't know. I think it was the Deshaun Jackson play. The man looked lost.
He sucks in coverage. He's
terrible.
He should just be a linebacker. Honestly.
That's what I was gonna say. Make him a linebacker.
Come on, it's time. He can't do anything in coverage.
It's just so they don't have a first round pick. The Rams don't. The 49ers don't.
Cardinals are like, you know what? Let's learn from them. They've gotten there, but they don't win it. Let's try to win it. Let's keep our first.
Man, 5-0 for the Cardinals. Who would have thought?
And who's that? Who's the receiver the Cardinals drafted?
Rondale Moore.
He's been so good for them too.
That catch he made this week
on the sideline.
Woo! I looked at that. I said, "Nah, different.
Yeah.
Built different." But what else is built different, Josh? Is our QB of the week. Who are you going to go with?
Well, I want to see who you're going to go with. I want to see who you're going to go with.
I'm
going to go with.
Yeah, I'm going with Brady. I wanted to go with Josh Allen. Obviously, had a fantastic game. But, I mean, let's just, we didn't talk about the game because it's a blowout. Didn't really need to. But let's just remind the people, Tom Brady, 43, I believe. And this man is just casually out here, as I'm looking up the stats right now. 30 of 41, 411 yards, 5 touchdowns. And did you know that was the first time in Brady's young career, obviously, that he's ever had 400-plus yards and 5 touchdowns?
That is crazy.
Year 22, baby. But who you got?
Yeah, Davis Mills. He won this week. He was amazing. He is my quarterback of the week. The Patriots did not deserve that win whatsoever. They deserved to take a fat L. The same way neither the Bengals or Packers deserve to win. Just kind of somebody won, but they all lost. All 3 of them lost. Yeah, Davis Mills, 21 of 29, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns. He played really well. I like what I saw from him. So
you're so annoying.
He's my what? He played good. He had good. Did you read those numbers? 21 of 29, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's not worthy of QB.
They lost.
They did not lose. They won.
I don't know. I'm looking at the record right now. 1-4.
They won. You guys lost.
1-4. I'm just saying.
You lost.
Now we obviously go to our player of the week. That's not a quarterback because obviously the quarterbacks always get all the love, and not this week or not in this segment, I should say. So who do you have?
In a week where kickers were just awful, my player of the week is a kicker, Greg Joseph, 4-5. He had 13 of the Vikings' 19 points and hit the game winner from 54 yards.
God,
He
I
is my
feel
player
so
of the week.
bad for the Lions, man. And we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into that at least. What? It's got to be hard, man. Sam Darnold seeing ghosts again. Oh no,
It never stopped. I'm just saying. It never
that's
stopped.
just not what you want to hear. That's
No,
not what you.
sure.
I still cannot believe ESPN ran that.
I
Like,
know, that was so bogus. That was so bogus.
that is literally one of the greatest things I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Man really said, "I'm seeing ghosts out here." Like, how? Excuse me. But for my player of the week, I'm gonna go with Nick Chubb. I feel like these running backs never get the credit that they deserve. It's always a big old, star wide receiver and the quarterbacks, obviously, maybe even a tight end in some situations, but no. Nick Chubb is a grown man. 21 carries, 161 yards, average 7.7 yards a carry. 7.7 yards a carry. And had that long touchdown run. So you know what, Nick Chubb? You're a boss. You are very good at football, and I respect it. We'll move on from there, though. And of course, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but it's time to add some people. Of course, our famous Together We Pray segment. And, listen, if you're in the comments right now, feel free to add to it because we have our people. What do we have in it so far? We got Zach Wilson. We got
Zach
Joe
Wilson,
Burrow, of course,
Justin
in it.
Fields.
Justin Fields is in it as
Justin
well.
Fields.
But I am going to add, and
I think that's
obviously,
so far.
yeah, I got. Listen, if you don't add Daniel Jones after last week, then there's something. You're just a bad guy. This man took a straight shot to the dome, got up, looked like he just went on a 24-hour binge at every bar in New York. I mean, man was stumbling around. Scary hit. Hope the man is okay. Seriously, in all seriousness, I actually hope he's okay because that was insane.
Shout out to the Cowboy defender who saw that.
Yes,
over
Cowboy defender. Saw him stumbling, and went over and it looked like to catch him. So, Daniel Jones, you're added to the prayer circle. Nothing but QB so far. I think we can add.
Well, now I'm adding something that's not a quarterback.
Okay.
I'm adding the Lions fans. I'm adding the Lions fans.
Man,
I think they deserve it. They deserve it. They're having a very, very tough time this season. And Dan Campbell's a really good coach. They've been in almost every game they've played. It just hasn't gone their way. They could easily be above 500 right now, but instead they don't have a win at all. So it's been a tough year for them. So we will keep them in our thoughts and prayers throughout this season as well.
We got some coming in through the comments. Mason Crosby is going through some stuff right now. He is. The only thing he did hit the game winner at the end, so I guess he gets a little break. But
he didn't even look happy about it. He was like,
"No, he didn't." He was like, "If I didn't do that, oh my God, Jonathan Taylor."
Is he taking off on a run?
Oh no! Wait, no! This man just took a screen pass on 3rd and 15, and just when? How long was that? Come on, is it going to tell me? Probably at least 76 yards.
76
for a touchdown.
I have Carson Wentz's over completions, needing to get 21. I think it's going to happen.
Savage. Hey, it's nice. No, that wasn't even a screen pass. That was literally just a quick little, out route by 76 yards. That's some great blocking.
Jonathan Taylor's really good, man. I like him.
I know. I feel like he's had a down year so far, but we got some other ones. Urban Meyer's fingers. Yeah. That's a.
Yeah.
I just, you know what? That's another one. You added Lions fans. I'm adding Jags fans, man. 20 straight losses. Yeah. 20 straight losses for the Jags, man. It's got listen, if you are still a Jaguars fan, I have so much, and I mean an unimaginable amount of respect for you because I couldn't do it. I was ready to leave the Patriots if they lost to the Texans. You guys, you are the reason most people stop caring about their franchise. Like if you lose to the Jags, that's a game that you're like, all right, I'm no longer a fan. So I can only imagine what it's like. Saquon as well. I mean, this man just can't stay healthy. He's got the ACL last year.
Sucks,
Honestly, I didn't see the replay at first. I really thought when he was coming off the field it was an Achilles. And I was like, damn, he just tore his Achilles this year too. So in a weird way, I'm happy it's just his ankle, even though it literally looked like a football. So that wasn't good. And then John Gruden. Not a good look. Not a good look there.
Who talks to their boss like that, man? Who talks about their boss?
He tried walking it backwards, and I mean, I guess you got to take him for his word that he wasn't saying it in a racial way, but definitely not a good look. We'll say that. But we go from together we pray to put some respect on my name. And Josh, do you have anybody to add to this?
I don't. I don't think I have anyone this week. If I was gonna put someone, it'd just be Hassan Reddick, but I know no one will respect him at all. I don't know why. He's second in the league in sacks, at 15 of them. I'm sure to this week, but he still won't get the respect he deserves. So we'll put him in there. Put some respect on Hassan Reddick's name. He's a beast out there. He's built like a safety, but he's out here beating your best tackles on every play.
Matt struggled with some English here.
Mm-hmm.
But what he meant was Jaguars are the new, and then let's go back to the original comment.
He not only did he misspell a word and put random punctuation, he forgot a word.
Listen, the English language is tough sometimes, man. I had to write my midterm paper last night. I was looking at some of the stuff I wrote. I said, I actually forgot how to do English. I kind of forgot. Listen, I don't know, man. I'm trying to go through some things right here.
Stop smoking, Tommy.
Listen, never me. Never. I actually never have. Damn, I'm trying to think of some people to put on the respect train, but I feel like most of these people already got it. You know what? I don't think. That's a good one. That's a good one. Alexander Madison. He doesn't get the respect, obviously, because he's behind Dalvin Cook. But that's a very good one. If he was on a team by himself, he'd be a very good running back. I'm going to put this player on here because I think he's not even respected by his own team. Actually, I'm going to put two on here. I was struggling at first. Now I'm putting two on. Number one, Myles Gaskin. Did we forget that he was, good last year? And then this year they forgot that he was.
They abandoned him.
Abandoned him. Despicable is what they did to him. And then this week, of course, on my bench. Not that I would have won anyway, because you would think in a game or in a fantasy week where my quarterback puts up 20, both my wide receivers put up 26 and 29, that I would be pretty close to winning. Of course not, because my opponent scored the most points in the league this week. Typical. So I lost 173 to 135. Looks like I did absolutely terrible, but yet I put up an astonishing week. But Myles Gaskin, come on, Miami. Let's do something. And then the one that really gets me, and it involves you, Mr. Urban, Mr. Throwing it back, is there a reason we don't like James Robinson?
Yeah, come on now.
Did we forget his rookie year last year? And then they want to go out there and draft Travis Etienne or whatever his name is. Now, listen, I know that's Mr. Trevor Lawrence's buddy, his good old Clemson pal. But come on. James Robinson deserves some respect. If you don't want him, trade him over to the Patriots. Because let me tell you, if I got to see one more person fumble, I'm going to lose my mind. But that is that. And we finish it out, I believe at least, with our winners. Oh, we know. Josh, we never picked a Monday Night Football game, by the way. I'm going with...
I think we both picked in the Ravens. I think we both. Are you going to pick the Colts? Because I feel like...
It's
Well,
Annapolis.
now because they've scored. Now they've scored. So
But it's Annapolis. You know my affinity for Annapolis.
you can go with the Colts. I'm still picking the Ravens.
Can we stay healthy? Russ, DK, Chris, Penny? No. That's tough. Russ isn't healthy.
Geno
Chris,
Smith and Alex Collins putting on a show next week.
Oh my God. That's a tough time. It's a tough time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Colts since you'll still allow me to, even though they have scored. But whatever. I think I might honestly pick them anyway.
I mean, the spread was probably around 5. So
Let me, you know what? Let me see who I. Hey, you know what, Josh? I'll do this. Whoever I picked on the hard count is who I'll pick for this show too. I picked the Ravens, unfortunately. So whatever. I guess I'll go Ravens too. Say I told you I don't even know what I'm doing. I told you. But let's go over to the winners and losers before we do our picks for week 6 and recap week 5. Winner automatically Josh Allen. Man is a god. I see no Josh Allen hate. It's kind of weird, where'd all the Josh Allen hate go? I'm trying to say the man is good, and I was told I was wrong. So it was a little bold strategy, honestly. I'm also going to go with all Bills fans in general. Like I said, Josh, they've been through it, man. They have been through it. They weren't very good for many years. Well, yeah, I still can't even believe that that's even possible. How do you not win one of them by accident? But the Bills are just very good. So shout out Bills fans. Shout out Josh Allen. I'm also going to go with DK Metcalf. 5 for 98, 2 touchdowns. So your boy is showing out. That's even with Russ going out. Mike Evans, he is back in the good graces of Mr. Thomas Brady. I think he has
the Bucs have it too good, man. It's not just they need something to happen to them. All these teams have these injuries and have stuff happening. Shut up. They got 4 Pro Bowl receivers. They got 2 great tight ends. They got the best quarterback to ever play. But they got everything else on the defense.
You said you needed something to happen. That's what happened. All 3 of their starting corners are injured, Josh. They got Richard Sherman playing off the streets.
It doesn't matter. They need something. It's not obviously not impactful. They're still playing insane.
Yeah, damn it, Brady. Why can't you just go get hurt? Look at Josh wishing injuries. What a bad guy. Bad guy, Josh.
I'm not wishing injuries. I didn't say an injury. I didn't say that.
You said you needed something bad to happen. What else could happen?
A scandalous act.
Oh, yeah, Bruce Arians.
Someone in the organization.
Getting it thrown back on after a win.
Yeah. I do a leaked video.
Tom Brady leaked video in the same club as Urban Meyer. But yeah, those will be my winners of this week. Who you got, Josh?
Yeah, my number 1 winner, DeAndre Hopkins, becomes the guy with the most receptions before turning 30 in NFL history. So shout out to him. Yep. Not NFL, but Jimbo Fisher becomes the first former Nick Saban assistant coach to beat Nick Saban. So shout out to Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M.
That might be the first college football mention ever.
Yeah, probably. But Geno Smith. Well, fans win and he wins because we get to see Geno Smith play football again. So I love it.
Yeah.
And Cam Newton because he doesn't have to be in that dog water offense over there.
Look at this. No. If you want to do that, I'll say that I'm a winner for not having Cam Newton.
I don't think you are, man.
No, I'm. Listen, Josh. They were the 27th ranked offense last year. They're the 26th
this year too, man. Don't act like they're so good now. They're so good now.
You didn't let me finish there, guy. So why don't you pipe down? I'm saying that it made absolutely no difference. Zero. Zilch.
So I'm happy Cam doesn't have to be there, man. It's not the quarterbacks. It's not the quarterbacks.
Man, can't even get a job, and he's a winner. Imagine. Loser. Oh, no, you weren't done.
A job.
Were you done?
He hasn't taken a job. I was done.
All right, well, I'll go to my losers then. Me, because I drafted Allen Robinson, and he's awful. let me just read some fantasy points for you. Six catches, 35 yards, 9 points. 2 catches, 24 yards and a touchdown, 10 points. 2 catches, 27 yards, 4.7 points. 3 for 63, 9 points. And 4 for 32, 7 points. Really? Really,
Good
Allen
thing you only
Robinson?
signed a franchise tag.
You were my flex guy. You were supposed to be. I had DK, Mike Evans, and Allen Robinson for wide receivers. I thought I was living in fantasy world, and Allen Robinson doesn't even know what a football looks like this year. So, a little upset. Another loser. People who thought the Denver Broncos were actually good, me included, because I believe I picked them this week. They're not a good team. They're the worst 3-0 team in the history of football, and now they're 3-2. So obviously, and then you just got to go with, let's go kickers for one, and coaches too. I mean, bro, we got Urban Meyer getting it thrown back on. We got John Gruden with some low key racist communication through some emails. Belichick gets beaten by Brady, which obviously he wanted to win that game. That's another winner. That's another winner I had. Dan Campbell. I love the emotion he showed after that Lions loss.
Yeah.
What a guy.
That's a
you
coach.
Can tell
that's
that
a true
you can
coach
tell
right
that
there.
he actually cares. So you know what? Shout out Dan Campbell. But like you said, loser, all Lions fans anyway. So it's a tough life out here.
Yeah. I'll just start with Alabama. They're probably gonna. I mean, this is the first time they've lost a game in years, so they're big losers this week. Deshaun Watson, another loser because his replacement. He has 2 replacements in Houston now. Tyrod's going to replace him, and Davis Mills is going to be the young buck that comes in eventually. So congrats, Deshaun. You're officially out. Packers and Bengals, they both lost. I don't care that the Packers won. They both lost. That should have been a tie. No one should have won that game. Lions fans, I agree with you there. Those are my losers.
All right, Josh.
I was going to say Patriots, but you already know.
Yeah, we won, so it doesn't matter. Josh, how did we do in week 5?
Connie,
I think it's pretty ugly.
You won more games than me this week. You went 10-5.
Really?
Not too ugly.
What? I thought I did
10-5.
terrible. Oh my god.
Huh.
No, I'm actually.
And I went 9-6. I went 9-6. And we disagreed on 3 games. You won 2. I won 1. We are now overall. I'm 46-29. You're 45-30. So you're.
Oh yeah, baby!
Just a 1 game.
It is comeback season. I tried telling you,
Still
Josh. I was just giving you that lead because I felt bad for destroying you last year. So I gave you a little bit of a lead, but now I'm working my way.
I've just been closing my eyes and picking a team so far this season. So,
listen. Now there is not a hat big enough in the world to fit that cap. Just saying.
I'm just saying, man.
Just throwing it out there. Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, this man is studying the all-22 film and trying to figure out, why his picks aren't right. And it's okay, Josh. You don't have to admit it. But we'll start with week.
Kidding me? It's not good enough.
We'll go with week 6 of the NFL. We started off on Thursday. Now, actually, you know what? Hold on, Josh. Before I do this, do you want to pick the games this week so you don't complain, or you want me to do it again?
I do. I want to pick them this week.
Okay, you go.
Weeks, so.
You go.
Yeah, we start off on Thursday Night Football, Tampa Bay, Philly. Both going Tampa, we know that.
This is very true.
Next game, the Dolphins versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I am torn here, but I'm going with not Jacksonville, I'm going with Miami. I don't know who's playing quarterback, though. I don't know who is the quarterback. So it's very tough, but I will give you the advantage because I'll go with Miami.
Advantage?
Listen, at least Jacksonville knows their quarterback.
Yeah, Jacksonville also knows they're on a 20-game losing streak. Man, that is just a repugnant game. You know what? I'm gonna pull a you like you did last week. If I'm gonna be wrong, I refuse for it to be a game like this. So I'll just go with the Dolphins too because this is just absolutely disgusting. This game shouldn't even
Yeah.
be nationally televised.
No, they really shouldn't. They shouldn't. Next up, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears. I'll go with Green Bay. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but is that bad man Aaron Rodgers?
I'm going with the Packers easy. You think low scoring? I'm going Packers by at least 15.
Bears defense has been getting better and better. Next up,
Oh, we got a little
Cincinnati
upset here.
versus.
Okay, HG picking the
Ooh.
Bears. I like that.
Hey, I like it. Hey, Justin Fields 2-1 as a starter. He's doing decent. Cincinnati versus Detroit. I want nothing more than Detroit to get a win because they deserve it, but I am going with the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals too. Like you said, I hope that the Lions turn this around somehow, man. Maybe they go 0-17 this year, get like the best draft pick of all time at number 1, and then they can somehow turn it around. But you just got to feel bad for Lions fans somehow. They didn't deserve this.
No, they did not. Next up, Houston versus Indianapolis. Listen, I love Davis Mills. I think he's going to put on a show again, but I'm going
Then
with the
don't you do
Colts.
it? Unbelievable soft.
Going with the
Of
Colts.
course. Wentz Annapolis, baby.
Next up, another game I will not be watching. The Rams versus the Giants. Pretty obvious pick here. Going with the Rams.
Yeah, I don't think I have to really say much on this one. I don't even know if the Giants know who's going to be on their team next week.
It's Mr. Longneck, Mike Lennon.
He does have a very long neck.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Him and Davis Mills, they both got unnatural
Giraffe gang.
necks.
Giraffe gang.
Yeah. Next up, Kansas City versus Washington. I already bet this game because the spread was absolutely beautiful. I think it was Chiefs -1.5, and I took that immediately. Going with the Chiefs.
Wait, what game is this?
Kansas City versus Washington.
I thought you said something else, and it made no sense to me. What'd you say the spread was?
Well, I took it last night, because they had the games up. I looked at it right when they put them up. It was Chiefs -1.5. I was like, I'm taking that.
Yeah, that doesn't even that literally doesn't even make sense to me. I'm going with the Chiefs. Listen, I know that they haven't been very good, but as HG says, Washington has been very disappointing.
Very disappointing. Shout out to Taylor
Facts. You know what, Josh? I'm adding him to the respect train. That's literally who I thought I was. That was the person I was supposed to add that I forgot until you said his name. I'm adding him. Listen, the man. People forget. That was the closest game that the Bucks played in the entire playoffs.
Exactly. He almost pulled it off.
Taylor Heineke's balling out.
Next up, the Vikings versus the Panthers. Never picked against them. Never will. Here we go. Keep pounding. Carolina all day. Do it. I know you want to do it because.
No, I really don't.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that we have to pick on Monday, so we never know injuries. This is literally the worst.
I know, dude. It sucks.
Literally the worst. We would be so much smarter if we could pick on Saturdays.
I know.
Screw it. I'll go with the Vikings. Why not? Maybe Dalvin Cook will actually play. I literally don't even know, but
it's not
I could see them winning, I guess.
It's not a bad pick at all. Not a bad pick. Chargers versus Baltimore. And believe it or not, the Chargers are the underdog in this game. And I'll take the underdog.
Yeah, I'll gladly take the Chargers.
Next up, I think another very good game. And I hope, wasn't there multiple times last year where they shifted different games to prime time, like early in the week?
Yeah, but they usually do it late in the season.
Well, they need to do it this week because I think Arizona versus Cleveland should be the Sunday night game. And I think that would be a very good game, and I'm going with Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona 6-0, baby. I'm feeling it.
Next up, the Raiders versus the Denver Broncos. I
Ew.
will take. I don't even know, dude.
Oh, I know who
I
I'm
guess
going
I'll
with.
go with the Raiders.
Damn.
I guess.
I was hoping you were going to go with the
You
Broncos.
know I don't like Teddy Two Gloves.
What do you mean? That was literally your boy last year. Yeah, I'm going. I'm going with the Raiders as well.
No balls on you this week, kind of. You don't want to. You don't want to jump and take that lead. Jeez.
Yeah, I want to take the Broncos so bad.
I mean, you didn't take the Browns or the Ravens. Those are two games where you
No, I
might
have
want to
no
take a
faith in the
shot.
Ravens. No, I had no second thoughts in that Chargers pick. The Browns one. Can I change my pick? I'll change it.
No, you already said it in stone.
Okay, that's fine.
That was
Whatever.
2 games. That was 2 games ago. It was 2 games ago. You're too
You know,
late,
I'm not
buddy.
even gonna lie to you either. When we were talking about that game, I was watching the Monday night game, and I literally totally forgot who the Cardinals were playing, but I heard the Cardinals, so I picked them.
Look at this guy. What a great co-host I have. Dallas versus New England. I'll take the Cowboys.
You know, this is literally an impossible situation for me because I have no faith in the Patriots winning this game, but I hate the Cowboys so much and everything that they stand for. So oh my god, bro.
Do it. Do it.
But no, you know,
Do it
whatever.
now.
I'll pick the Patriots. Why not? I don't have any faith in the pick. Hate the pick, but I'll pick them.
Hate the pick, made the pick. Very bold strategy coming from Connie's corner.
Yeah.
There.
Okay, Mister.
And
I
this
pick
is
the Panthers
why.
no matter what.
This is why I am above 500 doing that this year. So you get at me.
Oh yeah, last
And
year.
this is why I said, don't. We're here now. We are here now. Okay. This is why I say the primetime game should be switched because
Oh, yeah, it's
ordinarily
terrible.
this sounds like a fun game, but seeing Geno Smith versus Big Ben is not going to be fun to watch on Sunday night. So it's the Seahawks versus Pittsburgh, and I'm going to take Pittsburgh. Do it.
I'll pick Seattle.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay. So the games you need to win
She
this
does not
week.
like my pick. It's Steelers by 30. No defense, no offense.
So you need Seattle to beat Pittsburgh this week. You
Doable.
need New England to beat Dallas this week. And
Not
I
very
think
confident.
your best chance of tying it up is Minnesota being Carolina. So I don't see some crazy a possibility at all.
Hey, I think the Panther game and the Steeler game, very doable. Patriots, I did it just because
Depends
I hate
on
the
what
Cowboys.
Geno we get. Depends on what Geno Smith we're gonna see.
Without Russ, we're going 0-6. I mean, I absolutely believe that. But the Steelers' offense is terrible. And now Juju's out. Hey, listen.
They got like 4 other very good receivers.
Yeah, but Big Ben can't throw.
That is true. That is very true. He needs to go, bro. Give Dewey Haskins a chance.
So bad, man. Imagine Dwayne Haskins trying to be the saving grace of your team. Like, that's how you know you're down bad. Like, that is just astronomically bad. But
Mason Rudolph, man.
we will wrap it up there. That is the show. Josh, we're 59 episodes in, 60 next week. I mean, unbelievable. And listen, people, go subscribe to the YouTube, okay? We're doing big things over here. With a little behind-the-scene things that'll probably be coming out next week. So make sure you stay tuned. Just saying, if you want to, take a gander. But, Josh, tell the people where they can find you.
Follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Generational Sports. When we hit 100 subs over there, 200 followers on Twitter, we're giving away an Amazon gift card. So make sure you go sub. And yeah, tune in next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, as for me, obviously, me and Josh do this every Monday. This is our baby. Like you said, we're giving away that Amazon gift card, so go check out the YouTube, check out the Twitter. We post a lot of stuff over there. What's going on, John? How we doing? No, we're living the dream, as some people would say. Um, but yeah, check out the YouTube, Generational Sports, like Josh said. Follow the Twitter. When we get 200 on the Twitter, 100 on the YouTube, we are giving away an Amazon gift card. HG says we better not lose to the Giants. I mean, nobody should lose to the Giants, not anymore. So Mondays, obviously, me and Josh do this. Tuesday, I do the hard count with me and my boy CJ. We go over every NFL game, give you the storylines, all things of that nature. So make sure you go and check that out. That is Tuesdays at 9 Eastern. And then Thursday, a little backstop banter with me and Michael, where we talk about everything in the baseball world. Go Red Sox, John. I'll never say that ever and actually mean it, considering they just robbed. But you know, it's whatever. Why is Siri on my screen right now? Well, why is Siri on my screen? But you know, whatever. We survive.
Hey Siri, call
No, don't
911.
do that. Whoa. I got AirPods in, scumbag. So Thursday is Backstop Banter HG. So hey, you'll love Thursdays. Check us out on Thursday, 10 Eastern, doing everything in the baseball world. And then my Twitter is Anthony Conover _ Anthony Conover is my Twitch, where I put all of the podcasts as well, where HG is probably watching. But yeah, other than that, we will see you guys next week. Thank you everybody for tuning in, subscribing to the YouTube, talking to us all the time. We love interacting with the people. But until then, we will see you next week.